an educated and well-educated family, the quiet role model behind Pope Leo XIV. Though not standing in the spotlight, the family of Pope Leo XIV quietly embodies dignity, education, and admirable responsibility. Especially notable is his middle brother Luis Prevost, a Navy veteran once known for controversial statements on social media. Before his younger brother became pope, Luis openly supported former President Donald Trump, frequently criticized the Democratic Party, and disparaged marginalized communities. However, when Robert Prevost, the youngest brother, was elected Pope Leo XIV, Luis chose to change. He bit his tongue, restrained his speech, and limited sharing political views. This was not a forced change, but an act born of love, respect, and a sense of responsibility for his brother's sacred mission. The Pope's family is not required to be perfect, but they have chosen to grow together. The eldest brother, John Joseph Prevost, is a veteran educator with over 30 years teaching in Catholic schools. He describes Leo XIV as compassionate, close to the poor, and politically impartial. The three brothers, each with their own personality and path, grew up in a model Catholic environment where parents taught not only academics, but also faith and kindness. This family, through silent sacrifice and unconditional love, forms the solid foundation of a pope who bears the hopes and faith of over 1 billion believers worldwide. Luis Prevost, the strong-willed middle brother with clear political views, a silent transformation for his brother's rise to the papacy. Luis Prevost, Pope Leo XIV's middle brother, stands out not only for his strong personality, but also for his outspoken and firm political views. A former U.S. Navy veteran, Luis did not hesitate to make controversial statements on social media, notably supporting former President Donald Trump, criticizing Democratic policies, and openly opposing social issues such as transgender rights and immigration. Before his brother became pope, Luis did not hide his conservative stance. But when Robert Prevost was chosen as the successor of St. Peter, Luis chose silence. He reduced his social media activity, stopped sharing personal views, not because of coercion, but out of respect for his brother's mission, and the understanding that every word and action could affect the reputation of the Pope and the Catholic Church. This maturity did not erase Luis's strong identity, but showed a new depth in his character, knowing when to be firm and when to step back to protect higher values. Family love, faith, and loyalty transformed a man once fiery online into a silent pillar for one of the world's most powerful leaders. Change after his brother became pope, when a fiery brother learned silence for a greater cause. Before Robert Prevost became pope, Leo XIV, Luis Prevost, the middle brother, was well known locally and on social media for his outspoken and conservative political views. As a Navy veteran, Luis openly expressed controversial opinions, supporting Donald Trump, criticizing transgender people, opposing immigration, and condemning Democratic policies. He often posted harsh writings without restraint. Yet when his younger brother Robert became the successor of St. Peter, everything changed. Luis stopped posting political content, refrained from criticism, and almost disappeared from social media. This change was not due to pressure, but a meaningful personal choice. He understood that every word he spoke could now be linked to the image of his brother, the Pope who carries the responsibility of leading 1.3 billion believers worldwide. Luis's change was not just silence, but a journey of growth. He chose to step back, not out of fear or losing identity, but because he realized that family love, sacrifice, and loyalty can outweigh personal ego. It was a silent yet profound sacrifice, a silent prayer for his brother's sacred mission as Pope. Respect and sacrifice for family, when personal voice yields to the greater mission. Luis Prevost, the middle brother of the Prevost family, is a strong, straightforward man, unafraid to express his opinions. Previously, he was a familiar face on social media for his fierce conservative political statements. As a Navy veteran, Luis carried a fighting spirit, ready to debate passionately to defend his ideals. However, when his brother Robert Prevost became Pope Leo XIV, everything changed. No one demanded his silence. No document required him to give up social media. But Luis voluntarily withdrew from the public space. Political posts disappeared, heated debates faded, replaced by thoughtful and respectful silence. Luis understood that as the Pope, every action and word of family members could impact Robert's image and mission. He accepted this, not as coercion, but as a noble expression of family love. Luis's sacrifice was quiet but profound. It was putting aside ego, stopping at the right time, and stepping back with pride. In an era where everyone wants to be heard, Luis chose silence, a powerful way to show deep respect for his brother and the sacred mission their family carries. Contrasting personalities in the Prevost family, diversity that shapes depth. The Prevost family exemplifies personality diversity, where each member's unique character creates a vivid, complex, yet close-knit picture. Despite growing up in the same strict educational environment with a strong Catholic foundation, each member surprisingly carries different personalities. Robert Prevost, now Pope Leo XIV, is profound, calm, and compassionate. From a young age, he showed philosophical thinking and exceptional listening skills, often mediating and calming family conflicts. Meanwhile, the eldest brother is traditional, reserved, introverted, and rarely in the public eye. Louis Prevost, the middle brother, is a complete opposite. Strong-willed, hot-tempered, and politically outspoken, he served in the military and often clashed sharply with relatives. On social media, he was a blunt voice, sometimes controversial. However, Louis was also the one who chose to step back when necessary, completely silent after his brother became pope, showing deep respect. This contrast did not cause division, but helped the Prevost family maintain balance. Each with a personality and role, but united by shared values: love, responsibility, and faith. These differences forged Robert Prevost into a man with depth, compassionate enough to empathize and strong enough to lead. Family love as the solid foundation of Pope Leo XIV. Despite sitting at the highest position of the Catholic Church, Pope Leo XIV, born Robert Prevost, never forgets he is a brother in a loving and close-knit Prevost family. For him, family love is not just the root, but also a spiritual anchor through life's ups and downs. The Prevost family does not always agree on views or lifestyle. The eldest brother is reserved and traditional. The middle brother, Luis, is outspoken, hot-tempered, and often controversial online. Robert is calm, gentle, often the peacemaker. Yet this difference creates balance. The family does not try to change one another, but chooses respect, listening, and maintaining sacred bonds. When Robert became pope, public attention turned to the whole family. But instead of seeking fame, his brothers chose to step back quietly and respectfully. Luis, once harsh in media, no longer appeared publicly. This was not due to pressure, but out of love for his brother and silent pride as a sibling. It is family, with all its differences and sincere affection, that nurtured Robert Prevost's soul. That enduring, deep love became the firm foundation for his compassionate leadership. Childhood memories and the destiny of Pope Leo XIV. Robert Prevost's childhood, the future pope, was not paved with privileges or miracles, but woven from early morning runs around the schoolyard, full family dinners, and endless debates among three brothers. The Prevost family lived in a middle-class suburb where education and discipline were top priorities. Robert, the youngest, was quiet and deeply thoughtful, while the eldest was immersed in books and the middle brother showed strong leadership qualities early on. Robert often sat silently in a corner, attentively listening and remembering. During family evenings discussing current affairs, politics, and religion, Robert seldom spoke, but his eyes shone, as if silently connecting ideas into something greater. Once, in elementary school, Robert asked his mother, "Why do people need someone to listen instead of someone who talks well?" That innocent question, his mother later recalled, was the first moment she sensed a special destiny in her youngest son. These simple memories were the first pieces forming Leo XIV, a pope who listens more than speaks, leading with empathy and faith in human values rooted in his family home. Leo XIV, a pope of dialogue and unity. From the early days of his papacy, Leo XIV, Robert Prevost, attracted global attention not with grand speeches or dramatic gestures, but through deep listening and the ability to connect diverse people. He does not see differences in faith, culture, or political views as something to avoid, but as opportunities for dialogue and understanding. During his reign, Leo XIV opened the Vatican doors wider, inviting not only bishops and priests, but also youth, non-believers, and former believers for open dialogue. The conversations in the Lateran Garden, where he sat in a circle listening and sharing, became a symbol of humble and close pastoral spirit. He believes the world does not need more ideological walls, but bridges of empathy. Leo XIV once said, Faith is not a fortress to defend, but a lamp to walk together in the dark. This tolerance made him beloved not only in the Catholic Church, but also among other religions and cultures. In an era of division and conflict, Leo XIV became a spiritual anchor for healing. He does not seek to rule by power, but builds credibility through love and listening, earning the title Pope of Dialogue and Unity. Family as the foundation for a spiritual leader. Though wearing the papal robes, Leo XIV, Robert Prevost, never forgets his roots. A small intellectual family in a French suburb. It was there, amid dialogue-filled meals and debates on philosophy, faith, and justice, that he developed not only intellect, but character. The Prevost family was not perfect, but full of life. A book-loving father, a determined mother, and 3 brothers with distinct personalities created a rich environment for Robert to learn listening, analysis, and understanding. In that small house, he learned that those who disagree are not enemies, but those who help see the truth more clearly. Thanks to this foundation, as Pope, Robert is not just the head of the Church, but also a brother and son who often refers to family as a microcosm of the Church. He once said, "If we cannot bring peace into our own home, it is hard to bring peace to the world." Family taught him patience, unconditional love, and above all, enduring faith, essential qualities of a shepherd. Leo XIV did not become a great spiritual leader by chance. He is the product of a strong family foundation where faith and love were planted daily. Thank you for taking the time to read about Pope Leo XIV and his family, the solid foundation for a spiritual leader. I hope this sharing helps you understand more about the power of family in shaping a person and the profound values it brings. If you have any questions or want to discuss further, feel free to share.